Have you ever felt like you were stuck in a circle where each day was the same and nothing changed? Are you sick of feeling like you're stuck in a rut and want to make big changes in your personal and work life? Good luck, because this is the right place for you. This recording tells you about the methods and techniques that the world's most successful people use to get what they want. This book has helpful tips and ideas that can help you become very successful by changing the way you think and making you more productive. You can learn how great people in many different areas have reached their goals by reading these pages. This book gives you a clear path to get past limiting beliefs, seize missed chances, and take smart risks so you can reach your goals faster than you ever thought possible. This useful information will help you achieve amazing success that will go above and beyond what even your closest friends and family thought possible. First lesson: where you can make a lot of money. Putting things away may bring in some money through admiration, but it's not nearly as profitable as making things and providing services. Let's look at things that are expensive, like gold. Even though their prices may go up over time and give good results, they don't make anything new. However, smart people who build companies, come up with new technologies, or offer answers that people want have a big effect on the world and get very rich. Take the way that steel tycoons turn raw materials into important structures as an example. Pioneers in technology turn ideas into tools and gadgets that a lot of people use. Using substances and chemicals, medical experts make treatments that could make people's lives a lot better. All of the world's biggest tycoons built their businesses by making things. Creators and makers are changing whole businesses, so idly storing value won't work for them. Storing assets is an important part of well-balanced budgets, but the real way to get rich is to bring new, useful goods and services to the market. Instead of just focused on storage, if you want to get very rich, you should make it a priority to create and scale your own original goods. In the digital age we live in now, we have instant access to a huge amount of information that floods our thoughts with new knowledge all the time. When you have too much knowledge, it's important to know how goal and context affect what you're doing. When there is too much information, it can hurt your imagination and health. People who are successful set priorities for their goals and avoid being distracted by things that aren't important. They put a high value on keeping their brain space free so they can focus on making things of value instead of getting distracted by useless information. By accepting limits that lead to more satisfaction, knowledge, and achievement with less effort, they build gaps to keep from being overloaded. To stay focused on making original value, we need to think about our goals, get rid of as many distractions as possible, and make way for our natural creative potential to grow. Focus only on the most important and relevant information by making life's huge amount of information easier to understand. Get rid of the unnecessary things and focus on what's important. Our clear and focused method helps us do our best work, which has a big effect on markets, changes lives, and leaves long memories. The second lesson is about the one skill that all great people have. No matter where they come from or what they do for a living, all highly successful people have one important skill in common. They can take thoughtful, effective action. No matter what skills, mental traits, or benefits they have naturally, people who work hard at their goals have a unique ability to make their plans and ideas come true. Athletes carefully follow the training plans that have been set up. Scientists are very careful when they do tests. Smart people test their ideas in markets in a smart way. A lot of people have trouble with analysis paralysis and hesitation when they are planning, which can keep them from acting. Great people, on the other hand, have a way of thinking and a method that helps them make daily progress by sticking to set habits. They build long-lasting energy that gets stronger and stronger over time. Part of the process is getting better at things, learning new things, and reaching your goals. Actions taken over and over again are what make people successful. It goes beyond reasons, inspires others, and opens doors to results. People who can constantly act, even when things are hard or unclear, are the ones who stand out in society. Taking action is very important for moving forward. You can close the gap between your thoughts and your actions if you have a clear goal. You just need to be determined, bold, and smart. People's relationships don't get the attention they deserve in our busy world, even though they are essential for success in every area of life. Building relationships based on trust takes time and work, and it can't be taken for granted. Even the smartest people may not be able to reach their full potential without a strong network of support. Everyone wants to be deeply seen, valued, and understood. But these days, a lot of people see relationships as transactions, as ways to get what they want. The magic minute is a way to improve your relationships with other people. This means giving someone your full and positive attention for just 60 seconds every time you talk to them. Look the person in the eye, listen carefully, and show that you understand them through your words and actions. Accept and celebrate their natural health and intelligence. Just 1 minute of real presence and connection can change everything. It can strengthen relationships, build trust, and spread kindness, all of which can pay off in the long run. Show that you value other people on a daily basis to make progress. Feel the power of relationship as you work your way to success. It will open up new doors for you along the way. We often feel the need to come up with complicated and detailed plans when we want to make a good difference in people's lives. Still, the most important ideas are very simple and focused. Think about products that changed the world, like the light bulb, the printing press, or medicines. Each one dealt with a different issue in a way that was easy to understand. In the same way, the best models for solving problems like poverty, injustice, and sustainability tend to be simple and easy to understand. They fix the problems at their roots instead of just the signs on the surface. Simple, easy to understand ideas tend to get around faster. To get people to act, you need to communicate clearly and directly. Leaders who can make hard problems seem easy can inspire and unite whole countries. We make it easy for our products to be used on a bigger scale by keeping things simple. We can make progress by reducing and simplifying the methods we share, getting rid of any parts that aren't needed or cause confusion. Be clear and direct about your method if you want to make a good difference in the world. Ideas change when they are shared in a way that makes them easy for people to understand and want to join in. Third lesson, this is how to make your thoughts better. To turn sudden inspiration into useful innovations, you need to carefully consider and improve your first ideas. A lot of artists ignore opinions that could really help them make their work better, which is stupid. Working alone might seem like a good idea, but it keeps us from hearing different points of view that could help us figure out if our ideas are possible. It is very important to work together, even when things are hard. Instead of seeing critical viewers as enemies, you should see them as useful partners on an exploration trip with you. Ask other people to give you honest feedback. They might be able to see flaws and blind spots that you don't. Personal views can sometimes show up in feedback, so it's important to carefully consider the ideas given. As long as we are in touch with our inner knowledge, though, feedback can help us come up with better answers. Visionaries support ideas that can grow on a big scale and are open to comments that can help them improve. Allies help us develop our ideas into strong new products that get people's attention. People are afraid to act because they don't want to make mistakes and are waiting for the right ideas. Still, the most successful and wealthy creators in history were willing to deal with flaws in order to get ahead. They knew that even simple ideas that haven't been worked out can be very valuable. What people said about their ideas helped them get ahead by being the first to do something. They put exciting goals ahead of perfect execution, providing simple goods that showed ideas and made a name for themselves in the market. At first, their ideas might not have seemed like the best ones, but over time, they turned into valuable platforms that built whole businesses. Instead of putting poor ideas out there right away, the real danger is hiding them for a long time. Feel free to share your unique thoughts and artistic dreams with everyone. Promoting openness, encouraging teamwork, and having a fail-fast mindset are all ways to make progress. Some of the ideas you share today could become huge successes tomorrow. It takes more than random bursts of imagination and understanding to successfully bring ideas to life. We can be successful if we share our thoughts and work together to get creative. But some people don't want to share their ideas because they're afraid of being stolen, so they keep their best ones to themselves. Still, the pros of being open and honest far outweigh any possible cons of sharing information. Sharing ideas with many people opens up a huge number of new options because different people can see and change them. Each and every thought that is shared has the power to make someone better. Getting enough quantity to meet demand is important. Clear communication builds trust and gets people behind your ideas so they can come to life. Successful business people and creators share their knowledge and work together with others who share their interests. Movements that change the rules do well. For good by accepting critical comments without fear. 4. Don't get into half of the trouble you're in with this. Life's hurdles can sometimes put us in tough spots that make things worse. We often have too many things to do, think too much about even the smallest choices, and feel stressed out from all of our duties. Many of the problems we have are caused by the fact that we make things harder for ourselves instead of dealing with situations that happen in other places. To find the answer, you need to keep things simple. Make your plan easier to fit in the things that really count. Get your daily jobs in order to stay focused on your bigger goals. Simplify cluttered areas and busy plans to feel more energetic. Cover and deal with the root reasons in a clear way, skipping over complicated surface issues. Get rid of things that aren't important to you and focus on making decisions that are in line with your values and goals. Break down your fears into steps you can take right now to help you deal with problems. Don't make things more difficult. Break down things that look hard until they become clear. When we step back and don't try to figure out how something complicated works, we can understand it on our own. Simplify your relationships, habits, and goals for a new, more direct way of thinking. Adopt simplicity and clarity to keep your skills from being harmed by pointless problems. Most of the time, trying to control or change someone by force doesn't work because we all naturally don't like being forced. Many people with good goals, though, make their calls to action less effective by using direct methods that don't work with how people naturally act. To make progress, everyone must be able to work together and actively take part. You shouldn't try to force them to do something. Instead, you should approach it with understanding and teamwork. To give people the tools they need to reach their full potential, it's important to know how important both those who are willing to receive help and those who have a clear goal are. Instead of putting demands on people from the outside, you should focus on meeting their current wants and driving them. Try to understand where people are coming from and help them move forward in a gentle way. Do what your beliefs say you should do instead of just talking about them. Bring out the fire in people who share your values by shining your inner light. Success isn't measured by flashy shows of power. It's measured by how willing others are to keep working on your goal. A more effective way to make changes that last is to use gentle reasoning instead of force. As other people try to reach their goals, help them along the way. help individuals find their own unique ability to soar with happiness. Lesson 5. Learn how to praise people like a pro. It seems like a lot of people are jealous and critical in our world of comparison, while genuine admiration is hard to find. Giving and getting praise in an open way can have a big effect on both people, bringing people together and inspiring them. Make it a habit to recognize and appreciate other people's skills, achievements and efforts without any secret purpose or doubt. Respect that each person has their own special skills and a wide range of potential. First, let people know when they're doing something right by noticing it. A feeling of mutual respect for our own unique gifts grows when we recognize and praise the good traits and actions of others. Putting the focus on the good always leads to better results. Start seeing the beauty in everything that happens to you. Learn how to give and receive praise in a game that makes everyone happy, inspired, and better off. Feel your world change as praise comes from you, like it's your very being. Achieving long-term success and happiness is easy when we accept that all parts of our lives need to be in balance. There are times when we set clear boundaries between our family, health, work, and goals. But if you want to be successful in the long run, you need to include these important things in a well-rounded lifestyle where each part helps the others. When everyone is on the same page with their goals and interests, the energy of the group grows and gets things done. Putting our relationships with others and our own health first will help us build strong, helpful groups without getting tired or angry. If volunteering and giving money to good causes drain you instead of inspiring you, you might want to try a different method. Together with others, you can reach common goals and gain from the relationship. To avoid getting burned out, find a good mix between work, play, and rest. To live a full and worthwhile life, you need to find the right mix between material goals and a higher purpose. Make sure that every part of your daily routine works together smoothly so that the power of unity can fuel your own meaning of success every day. Do not forget that we can pick and choose what we learn. Even though there is a lot of sensationalized news and clickbait stories out there, it's important to stay aware and choose carefully what we read. We can feel calm and hopeful by being aware of the news we read. Learn how to stay updated by actively looking for news that will help you grow as a person. Bring attention to interesting stories about regular people who face problems and deal with them honestly. Instead of reading scary stories, look for ones that make you feel good. Every minute, there are a lot of good things happening, but major media often focus on the chaos and division instead. But we don't have to believe every piece of false information that is spread without question. You can increase your own impact by sharing news that regularly fits with your views. You can choose what comes into your mind, picking wise and inspiring things and avoiding harmful programming that looks like news. Take back control of the thoughts that form how you see the world and become your own reliable source dedicated to your ongoing personal growth. After moving to Silicon Valley for the first time, Sam had a hard time getting into the exclusive groups of powerful and wealthy founders. Even though he was a code superstar, he was humble, which was different from the loud and cocky tech bros who were common in San Francisco bars and conferences. Sam found a smart trick that let him easily open doors and get along with other people in the exclusive ecosystem. He changed the way he talked to people so that he focused on complimenting others instead of competing for influence. Sam talked to entrepreneurs at lively rooftop investor parties about their businesses, pointing out what made them special and new. Steve, the logistics optimization you built into ShipQuay is truly impressive in its ability to adapt in real time. During casual networking over coffee, Sam talked about some impressive personal traits he had seen in people besides their professional accomplishments. "Thanks for meeting with me, Alicia. Your bravery in starting a femtech startup is truly inspiring. Your kindness and honesty show in everything you do. Word quickly spread across the valley about the inspiring developer who helped people reach their full potential. A lot of people liked the praise guy because they were humble, smart, and friendly. Soon, Sam was in high demand in the tech world, and developers rushed to hire him to help them make their app ideas come to life. Powerful people rushed to be with him because he had a positive vibe. Finding and appreciating greatness was a skill shown by the perfect business mentor. In other places, Sam helped everyone he met, making a society where everyone was happy and successful. Sam became very wealthy by the time he was 30. He did this in a very special way. He learned how to get praise and play the game of making other people happy. Lesson 6. Get rid of ideas that aren't useful. To make progress and find happiness, we have to face our limits and push past them, closing the gap between what we can do now and what we could do in the future. We can lose some of our skills if we don't push ourselves and test ourselves. When we are faced with difficult jobs, on the other hand, we tend to get sidetracked by unimportant things instead of working on ourselves. To be successful, you need to carefully consider the activities you do and tell the difference between those that are just for fun and those that help you grow and move forward. Getting rid of things that feed your ego, waste your money, or serve no purpose other than short-term pleasure is a good idea. Stay away from screens that encourage false dreams and fake experiences. Instead, work on being able to focus and use all of your senses when you need to send important messages that really hit home. Don't let mindless things confuse you. Instead, break out of your boring pattern and wake up your mind. Your inner self wants interesting problems that require you to pay attention and take part. Find things you're really interested in that are so fascinating that they make you forget about everything else. Be aware and make sure that everything you do helps you grow as a person, to get rid of any distractions and make progress. You will have to work hard, face obstacles, and eventually succeed. You should be determined to face each day and use your strength and persistence to get through tough times. In today's world, where everything is linked, having specific skills is very valuable. To make a lot of money, you need to become an expert in an area that matters to you. Average people get ready for competition in entry-level jobs, but experts quickly move up to better jobs because they have shown they are the best. Famous doctors, scientists, engineers, and business people have become very wealthy and influential by working hard to learn their craft. But having professional skills isn't enough to be successful in the long run. You should use these skills to teach others, share what you know, and spark new ideas. Great leaders don't use their knowledge to make money for themselves, but to help whole fields move forward. Focus on doing important work that helps solve the world's biggest problems, and you'll find success on its own. Get really interested in learning everything there is to know about your subject. Connect people from different fields to bring new ideas to areas that are stuck. Then, share and teach others what you've learned to give them power. Skillfully and determinedly, building pyramids and getting to the top of them can raise your status and make you more money. They are also a constant source of difficulties. Pick out a rock and start climbing it. Along the way, you'll learn useful things. The seventh lesson is that you can become great. People's steadfast drive has helped them overcome stubborn resistance and achieve every amazing feat that was once thought to be impossible. Visionaries who are successful have two traits that set them apart. They are resolutely committed to their goals and always ready to beat any challenges that come their way. Some people's goals may seem too big for them, but special people follow their big dreams because they feel a strong calling to do things that connect with their core. They take breaks from time to recharge, but their unrelenting drive keeps them moving forward and always trying to make progress. With unshakable resolve, they slowly get past problems that seemed impossible to solve by staying focused and working hard every day. Backward steps can't stop the strong energy that has been built. Throughout history, famous people have become famous by focusing on clear goals and going beyond what is normally thought to be possible. Adopt the ways of thinking that drive the great people of history to do amazing things. Find motivation in the need to deal with and get past big problems right away. No problem can stop you from reaching your full potential when you use the power source of energy and determination. No matter how well you plan, problems always pop up out of the blue that throw even the best laid plans off track. Instead of ignoring the chance of doubt, it's better to plan for it by including backup plans in important strategies. Make sure you can easily change your backup plans when it means the most by planning them ahead of time. You should be ready for unexpected events that might make you question your ideas, and you should have plans for how to handle any problems that come up. Make backup funds, like cash or extra goods, to deal with things that don't go as planned. It's important to think about all the possible outcomes and be ready to handle problems as they come up when planning for the future. In this way, you can turn possible threats into doable problems instead of huge problems. Good leaders don't ignore risks that could get worse or cause problems. Instead, they face them head-on and make plans to stop disasters from spreading. Dealing with uncertainty ahead of time will help you succeed in uncertain times. Train team members to do more than one thing so that you have extra help and can sell more goods and make more money. You can handle tough situations easily, even when others are having a hard time, if you use well-thought-out plans that can be changed to fit new situations. Practicing awareness instead of trying can help you feel more in control of even the most difficult tasks. Accept that you will have failures and unknowns from time to time. They can't hold you back with doubts or fears about the future. Instead of feeling swamped by the weight of each job, go into it with an open mind and a sense of wonder. Show kindness and understanding of yourself when there are delays, and be ready to make any changes that are needed along the way. Relax and enjoy the little things that happen along the way by taking your time and doing things with a chill attitude. Big goals can be reached by constantly taking each small step with excitement. This is because you know how stress versus calm presence affects finding answers. Being fully present gives you a sense of freedom, strength, and grace. You can tap into this by doing everyday things with focus and attention. When we're stuck in cycles where we can't move forward, setbacks can really make us doubt that things will get better in the future. But giving in to problems only makes the pain last longer. People who have faith that growth will happen soon, even if it takes longer than thought, often make breakthroughs. The rules of nature back up this belief. Life is a steady ebb and flow with times of success and times of trouble. The natural path of the dark nights of the soul will lead to our next rising wave. But we lose our power when we think that the problems will always be there when they are only temporary. Conditions are always changing, and this is something that you should keep in mind if you want to keep your hope even when things go wrong. It is important to keep trying to be successful. When things go wrong, stay strong by picturing the good things that your inner self thinks will happen if you keep going. Keep going even when you don't feel like it, and wait for the wind to pick up again. It doesn't matter what problems are happening now, things will get better. The world is naturally set up to encourage growth and change, not to stay the same. During hard times, stay strong and think of a better future that is just around the corner. If you keep riding the waves to your final goal, you will reach the moment of change. After moving to Silicon Valley for the first time, Sam had a hard time getting into the exclusive groups of powerful and wealthy founders. Even though he was a code superstar, he was humble, which was different from the loud and cocky tech bros who were common in San Francisco bars and conferences. Sam found a smart trick that let him easily open doors and get along with other people in the exclusive ecosystem. He changed the way he talked to people so that he focused on complimenting others instead of competing for influence. Sam talked to entrepreneurs at lively rooftop investor parties about their businesses, pointing out what made them special and new. During casual networking over coffee, Sam told Steve, "The logistics optimization you built into ShipQuai is truly impressive with its ability to adapt in real time." Sam also talked about some impressive personal traits he saw in Steve, in addition to his professional accomplishments. "Alicia, thanks for taking the time to meet with me. Your bravery in starting a femtech startup is truly inspiring. Your empathy and honesty show in everything you do." Word quickly spread across the valley about the inspiring developer who helped people reach their full potential, which inspired others. A lot of people liked the praise guy because they were humble, smart, and friendly. Soon, Sam was in high demand in the tech world, and developers rushed to hire him to help them make their app ideas come to life. Powerful people rushed to be with him because he had a positive vibe. The perfect business incubator showed that they could see and respect the best in other people. Sam made everyone he met feel better, which led to a group of happy and successful people who lived together. Sam became very wealthy by the time he was 30. He did this in a very special way. He learned how to get praise and play the game of making other people happy. Lesson 8. Change feelings and events by changing what things mean. Instead of seeing talks as fights that need to be fought, see them as trips where everyone can work together to find common ground. There should be solutions that help both sides and are in the best interests of everyone when there are differences. Conflicts happen and last longer because people can't talk to each other well, not because their points of view are fundamentally incompatible. By looking into why people hold the views they do instead of stubbornly sticking to them, we can find surprising similarities. However, figuring out what the common goals are is not enough to guarantee settlement. We need to get rid of the old habits of looking for differences and replace them with new ones that actively look for points of connection. Asking questions that focus on shared goals instead of opposing points of view can turn tough talks into deals that everyone can work together to reach. Find new ways to bring together views that are at odds with each other so that they can live together happily. Think about how language affects feelings and use words that bring people together instead of those that divide them. Make things easier to understand and get to codes. If you can't agree right away, try changing how you describe the problems so that they can be seen from different points of view. Combining thoughts that are at odds with each other leads to progress. We can turn even the most difficult arguments into answers that work for everyone if we listen carefully, change the way we think about things, and look for common ground. Being truly confident and at ease with showing your true self is what gives you a strong presence. You don't have to think about how other people see you all the time. Stop judging yourself. Enjoy what makes you special, and don't try to fit in with what other people expect of you. Instead, start by focusing on your skills and saying what you really believe without changing the truth to make other people happy. A strong sense of self-acceptance makes people easily show body language that builds trust and respect. Be sure of yourself and know that you have the skills and worth to handle whatever comes your way. Keep strong eye contact while you talk to show that you are sure of what you're saying and ready to stand up for it if necessary. Talk to people in a friendly but sure way and use clear examples to show that you know what you're talking about and that you mean well. Be brave and smart enough to question broken processes in a polite way. To get a better sense of someone, go beyond first views and find out their inner goals, wants, and limited beliefs that might be stopping them from growing. Show that you can live an honest life and develop a strong mental awareness. Technical skills are important, but real leaders also have a deep sense of knowledge, humanity, and honesty. Instead of expecting compliance, try to persuade people by appealing to their better nature. During big changes, you need to get used to new tools and ways of being. Roles, relationships, and ideas that don't work anymore are getting in the way of growth, even though they may have helped in the past. Appreciate how past relationships helped you get through different parts of your life, and be brave enough to let go of them out of thanks instead of nostalgia. When students graduate, they need to move away from the social support of college life and adopt a more responsible attitude. People who move to a new country give up their old ways of life and start living in a new way. You have to decide on purpose to give up the ease of old ways of doing things and face the challenges and unknowns that lie ahead with confidence, flexibility, and a desire to learn. So you can focus on becoming the person you need to be. Let go of any old identities or things that bog you down. Get rid of old false beliefs about the world and yourself so you can move on with confidence to the next part of your life. You can either give up control and let outside forces decide your story, or you can take charge and write your own. People tend to accept the society around them instead of making their own rules and goals when they are in new settings. Giving up control of one's important time to consensus or chance, on the other hand, can lead to bad results. As we go through life, days can fly by, and we may feel like we're not living up to our full potential because of outside factors. Find out how you can control your own life and make it what you deserve. Write clear and simple ideas that bring the potential of the future into the present. Let go of any ideas that are stopping you from reaching your full potential or giving others what you have. Having high goals means taking risks, but they can help you reach goals that you thought were impossible before. Every thought you have shapes reality in real time, so be careful and brave as you guide them until your bright vision comes true. Accept your own independence and use your power to make amazing things happen. It was the end of Andrew's world when flames destroyed his family farm. The land where families had many happy memories was sadly burned to the ground in a terrible fire. Andrew's dad had hoped to give him the successful farm, but that didn't happen. Andrew felt hopeless and angry as he looked through the ruins, which were still full of painful memories of what he had lost. He felt like life was not fair to him. He had taken care of the fields, big oak trees, and rich soil since he was a child. Now they were empty and quiet, making fun of his once promising future. After some time, Andrew realized that even though the fire destroyed his things, their real value stayed in the love and meaning he felt for them. The land itself was still full of possibilities waiting to be found again. In his mind, disaster could be turned into a chance to start over. Andrew wanted to turn a permaculture eco-village into a safe place for families who had to move to learn about sustainability. Soon, the rebirth he had envisioned began to take shape as a huge group of people worked together to make the oasis grow. The damage gave people a new sense of hope and purpose. There was new life where Andrew had only seen death. After the most heartbreaking loss, the next year brought him a lot of happiness by changing the way he looked at things. Destiny and the land both got better. After giving it some thought, Andrew realized what the fire really meant. It taught him how short life is, which made him feel both humbled and free. During the trip, it gave me the courage to live and create without fear and without being tied down to temporary things. Crisis was a good place for blessings to grow. Somehow, Andrew was able to get a lot of people to help him clear away the trash and put down new dirt. They chose to keep a few burned-down family trees as monuments, and instead planted lots of native plants and fruit trees that were watered by rainwater that had been collected and used before. Soon, shiny solar panels were added to the scenery to power the daily needs of the community. They built small micro-homes out of eco-friendly bamboo and recycled plastics, giving families a new place to live. Andrew was filled with hope as he saw how the farm had changed so beautifully. But an eco-village needed to care about more than just the environment. It also needed to care about money. He worked hard all day and night to set up a local system that could provide things, services, and money for the people who lived there. They made money by selling beautiful things. They made themselves and planning eco-friendly vacations. They also used different kinds of money to make trading services easier. Andrew quickly built a successful model town that was good for both the economy and the environment. Even though terrible things happened, a lot of families moved to the town that its creative father made. Andrew's influence turned the farm, which used to be alone, into a bustling town with many connections. By changing how he saw life's problems, he found a lot of creative possibilities. Lesson 9. If you ask, you will get what you want. Being aggressive is important if you want to get the results you want. Setting clear, attainable goals and constantly looking for help from others to make them come true is how progress is made. You should not be afraid to ask for connections, partnerships, press, or funding. People who are successful regularly ask for help, which helps them build strong relationships. They easily go after sales, funds, media attention, and marketing deals, even when they are turned down at first. To boost growth, leaders from the Fortune 500 companies ask investors for advice. The leaders of the world are telling their friends to work together to solve the many problems that affect everyone on Earth. People who are making big changes in history through new innovations look for engineers to help them with their problems and early adopters in the consumer market. To get rich and successful, you need to get help from other people and use their resources, reputation, and knowledge to your advantage. This helps thoughts gain speed that can't be stopped. Don't be afraid to ask for what you want or think that it gives you the right to get it. We give partners perks that are good for both of us. But the best way to share your skills is to ask without being shy. Make a list of your biggest goals and the people who can help you reach them. Then, ask them to join you in a way that benefits everyone, and let's make the world a better place. Getting popular means making people feel like they are seen and cared about. It's important to remember people's names and find something nice to say about them. Call people by their names and praise them to build strong relationships that last. John, your graphic design skills are truly impressive. I can already see us working together on future projects once your skills become more well-known. Sarah, your bravery in speaking out against injustice is incredibly important in these troubled times. You're truly inspiring. When you thank someone for their contribution, it makes them feel like they're really important to you. If you say this line honestly in any situation, it will earn you respect, trust, and a relationship. As you build strong relationships with open-minded people who value your genuine interest in learning more about them, problems will start to disappear. After the first impression, feel free to share good feelings and make everyone more popular and successful. To move forward, we need to stop dwelling on the past and instead focus on picturing and making real the prospects of the future. Thoughts about the past can be helpful. Focusing on them for too long can take your energy away from the present. Don't think too much about mistakes, losses, and results you can't change from the past. Each new day in life is a gift that opens up a world of chances to make things right. The future can't wait for you to be a part of it, but the past is only full of ghosts. Pay attention to the future and see how inertia changes into inspiration that moves things forward. Forget about past failures and unfinished stories about chances you missed. There are many things that could happen in the future, which means that we can replace old stories with ones about rebirth. Even though it's important to recognize the pain of the past, hanging on to it can stop you from moving forward. You can start over today if you let go of the past, are brave enough to face the unknown without fear or regret, and are willing to make things happen that are beyond our best dreams. People who are successful in many areas stress the value of 4 basic traits for long-term success: constant focus, the ability to change, the ability to bounce back from setbacks, and a dedication to helping others and building trust. Get rid of things that are distracting you and concentrate on your most important tasks to make steady daily progress toward your objectives. They run systems that are made to quickly take advantage of chances that come up out of the blue by changing in real time. People see challenges as chances to get stronger and show what they can do. Instead of focusing on mean-spirited zero-sum thinking, win-win partnerships encourage people to count on each other. Use the first way to get through opportunity zones by making your goals clear, getting better by improvising, showing that you can handle rough patches, and encouraging everyone's success by winning their help and trust. Structure plans that include these key ideas can lead to great results. The idea of the middle way is taught in Lesson 10. In cases where there are a lot of problems, strong responses usually make things worse instead of better. When people are feeling strongly about something, they might make a choice that has unexpected effects. People who like things to be more clear, on the other hand, know how important it is to find a middle ground instead of taking firm stands. The old idea of the middle way says that the best way to get things done is to take a fair view that takes into account all points of view. Let's look at policy on climate change as an example. Some people want to keep things the way they are or go back to life before factories, but others want to take a more reasonable approach. To do this, practical steps must be taken towards sustainability, such as reducing pollution in a useful way and helping disadvantaged communities shift through relief aid. To fix a divided political system, it is also important to talk about real worries from different intellectual points of view. To make this happen, both progressive and conservative actions are needed to make sure that everyone has the same freedom, safety, and wealth. Trying to force one-sided answers on people always ends in conflict and anger. The middle way strikes a balance by bringing together different points of view through agreement. It makes hard ideas easier to understand and comes up with workable answers that take into account different points of view. People who are moral centrists still believe that the most effective way to achieve justice is through unity. Problems are like sharp knives. They can be dangerous if you try to solve them quickly, but they can also be helpful if you take your time. When there is a crisis, our natural tendency is to focus on the things that are scary instead of what is really going on. When we respond hastily to chaos outside, we attack without a clear plan, which makes things worse. But when you step back and look at problems as a whole, you can find a way to understand them better and get past the chaos on the surface to find an answer. By understanding how power works and how history affects us, we can safely manage known risks. With careful planning and clear communication, we can turn tough situations into ones where everyone works together. Each problem comes with its own set of chances and problems. You should be smart about how you deal with them and use the lessons they teach you to grow and get through things. Accept that life will give you problems and solve them, but it's important to think carefully about what's going on before moving quickly. Be careful in every case and make sure you know what's going on before you respond. Effectively use this knowledge to get good results that help everyone. Difficult problems can quickly bring down your spirits, blocking out all other thoughts and making it seem pointless to try to solve them. On the other hand, focusing too much on big problems can make success seem impossible. Goliaths are actually made up of many smaller pieces that work together to form the whole. Destroy huge institutions by weakening their bases little by little in small cracks. Do not let the first thought of how big a hurdle is scare you into giving up. When you look more closely, you will see a list of things you can do that will eventually beat it. Any problem can be solved if you are determined. Due to racial issues and the debate over the district's discipline policies, LaToya had to handle a tough situation as the head of a high school. Many minority families are worried about strict zero-tolerance rules because they say these rules have led to unfair targeting and too many bans of their children. On the other hand, people who believe in traditional values fought against changes, saying that they could make it okay to do bad things. People on both sides said that the other side's ideas were unfair. LaToya thought about quitting her job as principal because she was so stressed out, but she found a way to deal with her stress by practicing mindfulness. Instead of seeing conversations as divisive fights, she asked, what goals might different groups share, even if they disagree on how to solve the problem? LaToya talked to families from a variety of backgrounds in an open and honest way. She stressed how important it is to make sure everyone feels safe and respected by actively and empathetically listening. Even though their ideas were different, their principles were the same. With this knowledge, the fair middle road could be used to find a solution that worked for everyone. Restorative justice was successfully used for minor crimes, which increased responsibility and cut down on official bans by a large amount. Students had to stay after school to help teachers and fix ties in the community that had been damaged. At the same time, unhappy teens, who had been ignored for a long time, were given therapy. All groups have been helped by fair changes that honor common good qualities, but none of them have reached their single goal. At the end of the school year, conditions had improved to a state of peace. As an example of noble leadership, LaToya's school dealt with tough problems with calmness, understanding, and moral courage. Lesson 11. Don't worry about having to work hard to get what you want. When you're having problems, you should think about whether they are caused by a mismatch between your skills and goals. Check to see if you value getting other people's support more than finding your own happiness. Putting square pegs into round holes doesn't work, so don't bother. Make sure that your natural skills and the needs of the job market work well together. When your work is in line with who you really are, it's more fun. Issues may still come up, but they can teach you something if you have a clear and important goal. When problems don't show up as flaws in a person, but as situations that don't fit them, their character stays strong and they can do well in other situations. That being said, not everyone can reach the top of Everest, and not all roads have to lead there. Look for trips that not only lead to success, but also make you feel good. Even if you try your hardest to reset, you might still feel stressed and overwhelmed instead of driven and inspired. This could be because you hold harmful beliefs that put achievement above your mental health. When you can dance easily instead of using a crutch for a run, why bother? No matter where you are, have the confidence to go at your own pace without having to worry about always being successful. Life tells you to shine instead of just working hard all the time. It's important to use knowledge for it to have any real effect. Just like taking care of fruit trees in a garden, we all have natural paths that want to be explored and shared. Untapped skills and ideas need focused effort to grow. You will lose control of your life's results to chaos outside of you if you don't follow the methods, insights, and routines described in this book. You can get amazing results if you are brave enough to put theory into practice. Regularly going back and going over the models, methods, and tools talked about in this book should become a habit. This will help you remember them and make them a natural part of your daily life. Don't just understand success concepts mentally. Make them a part of who you are and how you make choices. Developing healthy habits like planning, self-discipline, and building relationships can help you make big changes. Without any doubt, commit yourself with all your heart. If you have been working hard for a year and things haven't changed much, read these chapters again to find out what else you can do to make things better. If you work hard, you can expect your old problems to go away as you welcome your sudden wealth. When you enjoy the benefits of freedom, you become more great. Last lesson: secrets to success. Now we get to the last part of this guide, which will help you become a huge success in the world. Maybe you thought you were just normal when we first started working together. Your views held you back from what you thought you could accomplish in your life. Those stories should have been broken by now in front of a giant who is awake and ready to show the world their full potential. You can make a difference in many people's lives and escape a boring life by using the attitude shifts, strategic frameworks, and creating tools that are talked about in this material. Anyone can reach any goal if they fully commit to creating a clear vision, learning the skills they need, and staying determined. That's what makes truly great people different from those who don't care. There is a need for people who can think outside the box and do things that don't seem doable. Are you ready for an adventure and to make a world that is better than anything our ancestors could have imagined? Will you be ready for the thrill and challenge of living on the edge as a lone nut in the stratosphere? Can you see the spots where looking glass windows open up new views that make old maps of limitations useless? It seems like that's the case, so let's start over instead of ending this book. Take these wise words to heart and make the most of every moment until stories about what you've done become famous.